Hello, I am Majid 2006. Welcome to the channel What We Are Why. When you're super interested in someone, it can be difficult to be objective. Our love goggles tend to blind us and cloud our judgment. If you've been feeling empty or exhausted after your dates lately, you may want to take a closer look at this list and decide whether it's worth it to keep investing in someone who isn't giving you the same energy back. I'm almost certain you've experienced at least half of this list. So let me remind you why the person you are seeing isn't worth your time anymore. Whether it's romantic, platonic, or somewhere in between, relationships can be hard. It's all too easy to ignore red flags when you care about someone. But when your own mental health is at stake, it's important to know when enough is enough. 1. Their actions don't line up with their words. It doesn't matter how many times someone apologizes if nothing ever changes. No amount of "I'm so sorry" or "I'll do better" fixes anything when they can't follow through. Don't let their groveling fool you. They know what you want to hear and have no intention of sticking to it. If someone's not both showing and telling you they want you, they don't really want you. 2. The things he always says that he likes and you have to do with superficial things: your looks, your style, your social status, etc. 3. He still uses Tinder and other dating apps. Oh my gosh, seriously. Ladies, if you are dating a man who's still busy on Tinder, what the actual? It should be deleted. Any excuse like, "Oh, I use it to make friends," or "Oh, I didn't want to lose our first conversation," is absolute rubbish. Take your blinkers off, girlfriend. If he is sincerely interested in getting to know you better and wanting more for the two of you, Tinder should have been deleted already. If you're single and looking for an easy hookup, no problem, but using the app when you're with someone is an absolute deal breaker. So, in essence, if your man insists on keeping his Tinder app, he's basically showing you that he's still swiping right. Do the big girl thing and swipe him to the left of your life. 4. You are always the one to text first or suggest a date. There's nothing more annoying than to always be the one to message first or suggest a date. If you are getting along extremely well on the dates, it's even more confusing why someone isn't trying to make plans with you. I certainly don't think that the guy is obligated to make the first move the whole time, but something is clearly out of balance here if the roles simply reverse. If I am the one who always has to ask, then I can be pretty damn sure that the person isn't as into me as it seems or as I want them to be. And if I don't feel appreciated, there is really no point for me in sticking around. 5. He doesn't ask you any questions. Some people are so preoccupied with themselves that they don't even notice that they aren't paying any attention to you. They want to be admired and listened to. They want you to ask questions so that they can feel important. But they rarely ask you anything. Do you really want to spend time with someone or possibly enter a relationship with someone who has no interest in who you are whatsoever? I think you'd be better off with someone who is genuinely interested in what you have to say and where you want to take your life. 6. There's no emotional connection. A naughty hookup has its benefits, but being in a relationship is so much more satisfying. Whining and dining, and other things, are fun, but establishing a bond with someone and connecting with them on a higher level is something most of us strive for. In terms of your current guy, do you have loads to talk about, and can you open up to him about your feelings, your dreams, and your deepest fears? Do you feel like you can trust him, and do you feel an emotional connection with him? Healthy and happy relationships thrive when an emotional connection is present with your partner, so if you have doubts about anything I've said here, take it as a sign that you're on a one-way cruise to nowhere island. 7. They can't give you a commitment. No one wants to deal with the confusion of not defining the relationship. If you know what you want and they can't give it to you, it's time to reevaluate. Keeping things ambiguous won't give you anything but a headache. You shouldn't have to settle for less just to keep them around. 8. He's really busy, like all the time. Except when it's convenient for him to see you. If you're making an effort to see him, but he isn't reciprocating, take that as a warning. He will make time when he's horny or lonely. And that will set the pattern for the rest of your relationship. Don't fall for that trap. 9. When the two of you are alone together, he's constantly checking his phone. 10. He checks out other girls. When you're in the process of making a commitment to a specific person, checking out other dudes needs to stop. You'll always notice attractive people around, but it's not appropriate to tell your boyfriend how hot the guy at the gym was. If you're looking at your man as a long-term partner, you probably won't even think of mentioning the cute gym guy to him. Your boyfriend should be on the same wavelength here. If he's continually talking about other girls, like how pretty that one is, or how sexy the other is. In front of you, it's utterly disrespectful and is a big warning sign. So, once you guys have decided to become an item and this behavior continues, sadly he's proving that he's not worth your time and you need to call time of death on your relationship. 11. He doesn't open up. Relationships are all about vulnerability and intimacy. While most people think of physical intimacy first, such as kissing, cuddling, or having sex, it is undeniable that emotional intimacy is just as important in a relationship as physical intimacy. If you cannot talk to your partner or if they refuse to share their thoughts or feelings with you, there's not much of a reason why you should be in that relationship in the first place. After all, you are looking for that special someone who isn't afraid to share everything with you. And while it is valid that some people need more time to open up than others, don't wait forever for it to happen. Because with some people it's simply not going to happen. 12. You catch yourself complaining. When the venting turns into ranting, something's not right. You shouldn't have enough negative thoughts to go on for hours. If you notice you've stopped gushing about how nice they are and have switched to lamenting over their every little flaw, the relationship isn't good for either of you. 13. He's reluctant to define the relationship. You guys have fun conversations and look cute together. But when it's time to get down to business, he avoids the question and changes the subject. It's a reasonable question, what's going on here? But he doesn't want to define anything because he's trying to keep his options open. Or he's just a commitment phobe and wants to stay in hookup culture land forever. 13. His go-to activity when the two of you are alone together is to initiate sex. That's it. 14. There are times when you occasionally feel special with them, and almost all of them are when the two of you are having sex and you finally feel like you have his undivided attention. The rest of the time, you kind of feel like you could be anyone to him. 15. He doesn't remember the things that you've mentioned you like. If a guy pays attention and listens to you when you go on and on about some designer that you love, he'll buy you a dress from that designer for your birthday. You tell him about the things that you like, whether you mean to or not. If he treats to be sweet but ends up giving you some random old jewelry, he's really not worth your time. 16. Your greatest fear is the moment he just totally stops answering you, because a part of you knows that it could happen at any time. 17. One of the things that terrifies you most is the thought of asking to meet the parents, because part of you knows it will never happen, but part of you wants it more than anything in the world. 18. Your friends tell you so. Sometimes your friends know you better than you know yourself. If they've started saying someone is bad for you, you should probably listen. They've watched this relationship break you down and are only trying to help. It's easy to tell yourself they just don't get it, but trust me, they do. 19. He's allergic to commitment. You've enjoyed a few great dates, hanging out together, and chatting, all signs that things are going well until you bring up the questions that commitment phobes fear. So, are we an item? At this point, he's changing the subject, answering an important call, and doing everything possible to avoid giving you an answer. It could be that he's not ready to label you as his girlfriend yet, but, more likely he does not incline whatsoever towards making you his girlfriend. It's difficult to tell the difference, but you'll need to read between the lines to figure out if he's simply not ready, or if he's just hanging around you because he just wants to hook up. If you're looking for long-term boyfriend material and he's more of a weekend special, chances are he is not ready to settle. I know that hurts, but you'll be okay. Move on now before your feelings get too intense. 20. You're an option, not a priority. We all value different things, but some are higher in priority than others, mostly family and close friends. If you're dating someone who constantly chooses to spend time with others over you, who blows you off, or who ignores your texts and calls, unfortunately, you become an option, not a priority. Everyone and everything else is more important than you. If you're in a situation where you need their help, can you honestly say that they'll move mountains to help you? If this has resonated with you, you need to evaluate your relationship with this person and make the decision whether or not you're okay with playing the second fiddle. 21. You're afraid of truly being yourself around him, because you fear that one day, when you slip up and show your real personality, he's going to immediately leave you. 22. Trust issues. Trust is the cornerstone of a healthy relationship, so if you can't trust someone, how do you expect to date them? Once trust is broken, you might as well throw in the towel, and if your man has given you a reason to not trust him, take this as a sign that you're wasting your time. Shady behavior, little white lies, and hiding things from you is a big red flag. There comes a time when you have to stop crossing oceans for people who wouldn't even jump puddles for you. That time is now. Now, If you want to be successful in romantic relationships and know more, subscribe to my channel. I made many tutorials for you. I will kiss you, my dear.